Hey, in this module we're looking at deterrence and incapacitation, chapter 23 in Agnew and Brezina. In short, is it possible to control delinquency by punishing more offenders and punishing them more severely? First, be aware that most serious offenders referred to juvenile court do not receive severe sanctions. A few are referred to adult court, less than 10% for most crimes except murder. About 1/4 to 1/2 end up being placed out of home. The rest receive probation or intermediate sanctions. The OJJDP, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, now favors graduated sanctions, which require first immediate sanctions within the community, even for the first offense. Think reintegrative shaming. Second option, intermediate sanctions, again within the community for more serious offenders. Third, secure programs, e.g. outside the community, for the most violent and regular offenders. Most importantly, juveniles must be made aware that with each additional offense, sanctions will be X, Y, or Z, and more severe each time. Punishments then end up being consistent, fair, and not overly harsh. Many states now have variations of get tough laws that often involve one or more of the following. First, mandatory minimum sentences for specific crimes and/or for repeat offenders. Second, blended sentences allowing juveniles upon reaching adulthood to be transferred from training school to an adult correctional facility. And third, they allow more openness of court records for juveniles adjudicated for serious crimes. That is, serious offenses can no longer be expunged and thus can be used to determine appropriate sentencing if found guilty in adult criminal court. Now let's talk specific deterrence and general deterrence. Specific deterrence is based in control and social learning theories and says that increasing the certainty and/or severity of punishment will deter juveniles from committing crimes. However, numerous studies have shown little or no effect of specific deterrence in reducing delinquency. Punishment appears to be ineffective and inconsistent, thus juveniles are not very responsive to increases. An increasing threat of punishment does not address many of the known causes of delinquency: family, peers, low self-control, etc. General deterrence stems largely from control theory and states that punishment deters delinquents from committing crimes, including those who are not punished. Those not punished see what punishments are applied to those who are punished. Numerous studies have tried to measure the general deterrent effect and have found that increasing the certainty of punishment may reduce crime by a moderate amount, and increasing the severity of punishment does not appear to have any effect. Incapacitation, also known as incarceration, argues simply that if you lock up the serious offenders, then they can't be on the street committing more crimes. It seems logical, and it has resulted in a modest reduction in juvenile offending. But it has its own set of problems. Some theorize that by locking up some offenders, it simply allows other offenders to pick up the slack. This is known as the substitution effect. Others theorize that since most juvenile crimes are committed in small groups, the incapacitation of one or another member will not stop the group from continuing its delinquent behavior. This is known as the group effect. The juvenile court system is overburdened and is only somewhat effective in addressing delinquency appropriately. Common sanctions against juveniles show only small to modest effects in reducing delinquency. Often this is the result of poor implementation of sanctions, that is, that they're unfairly distributed, sometimes too harsh, other times not strict enough, and rarely address the known causes of delinquency. So consider that when thinking about deterrence and incapacitation, and we'll talk more about it in the discussion forum. Have a great week, and I'll see you online.